what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Nolan Hong. And today we have a really fun guest. This is going to be very interesting because this is actually going to be Jamie's son Wes's first grade teacher at Mai Elementary. Annie Ushiroda is a first grade teacher at Mai. And the reason why we wanted to have her on is because she has been so remarkably amazing with Wes, who we always joke about it, that he's a very difficult kid and stuff, but it's kind of true. So the fact that she was able to really make huge strides and we could see that Wes has grown and improved in all facets after being in her class. And she would do all these neat things like send text messages and emails to Jamie and things, and she's just the sweetest lady. And so we're like, man, this is so fascinating. We need to find out like what goes on in this classroom, how she comes up with these teaching styles and such. And what we came out from this interview is more than just about her teaching Wes. She actually taught us lessons in life and how to treat people and how to view the world. And it is such an inspirational episode. So I'm glad that you downloaded it because you will not regret it. This is a really, really great episode. And I can't wait for you to hear our interview with Annie Ushiroda.
My family, I look nothing like nobody. And I'm like the largest one. Like everybody's like 5 feet. And I'm like 5'4". And then everybody has like little eyes and I'm like round. So they all think I'm Filipino. So my cousin bought me a 23andMe. 23. And then you spit in the thing, the vial, and then you mail it away. And then in 6 to 8 weeks, they're going to tell you what you are.
Was that because no one believed that you're related to the family?
Yeah, nobody believes that I'm related to them.
So did you get the results?
Not yet, I just did
Oh,
it.
you just did it.
Now, you know why too?
Whoa.
Because everybody's like more soft-spoken and I'm like loud, right? Right? And everybody's very like, and I'm very demonstrative. And so it's like I really don't fit. So it's just funny that, and my mom was 4'10".
Ah.
Yeah, so and my brother's 5'3", and I'm like, about 5'4". We're like same size.
So have you prepared in your mind for what the results might say?
No, I think I belong to them. I'm just it's going to be like but whichever way, right? Because it's not who your biological anything is. It's who you grew up with.
Yeah,
is your
how you're
family.
raised,
so it doesn't matter. Like it really wouldn't matter to me.
But it would also tell you like what maybe it's some of your ethnicity in the background, which might explain some of the differences, huh?
Yeah. Well, I know I'm Japanese, but my son's friends all think that I'm Filipino. So, and then we took his senior picture, and I said, "Oh, you look so handsome," for the yearbook. And the guy told me, "He's handsome. Too bad his eyes are Asian." So I said, "He's Asian." And so he said, "Only half." So he says, "You're Filipino, right?" My son was rolling. But the guy I thought was Filipino, he was Chinese. So he,
it's like
I
reverse.
yeah,
racial
so
profiling.
it's so funny.
So are you full Japanese?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you look mixed.
Yeah.
Like Filipino, right?
I don't know.
Or something.
Or Chinese.
Yeah,
or Chinese.
Yeah,
when I was
Chinese.
young, everybody thought I was Chinese.
Is your brother older or younger?
Older.
So they think that they found you somewhere.
They said they found me at the Alawai. They all say that I was found on the Alawai. Because I was a big girl. Like, he's 3 years older than me. And I was like, we were like always same size growing up. Yeah. And all my relatives used to say, "Don't eat rice" to me. Because I was like a big girl.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Yeah. So funny, right?
Oh my goodness.
Well, the reason why we brought you in is because, well, one, the show is just about meeting interesting people with interesting stories, maybe inspirational and whatnot, but kind of like a selfish reason is because Jamie always just is amazed by how you are able to tame crazy old Wes, her son.
But Wes...
And so we wanted to find out, like, how you do it. So we thought it'd be a really interesting conversation.
Okay, I can tell you. Everybody knows when they're a jerk, right?
Do they though?
Everybody
always
knows.
wonder.
If you act badly or you made a mistake or you are unreasonable, even if you act all smug, you know you didn't do the right thing, especially kids. And if you ask any kid like a little bit later down the line, they always agree that they knew. So if you correct the problem quickly, like cut it out, and then you stroke the good behavior, the feeling of doing well always feels better than feeling crappy about what you did. So it's never about us. You know, when somebody's rude or the kids are disrespectful or anything, it has nothing to do with us. But depending on our day, we take it personally. And I think that people are just big kids, and then nobody ever wants to feel crappy. And if they are behaving crappy, it's because they usually feel crappy about something. And they might need an extra stroke, or they might need an extra friend, or an extra cupcake, or whatever it is at the moment. And then when you're not in the moment and you're doing something else, you can bring it up and you will find the whole gamut of what's happening. But you have to not be doing something else while trying to listen. And you have to give eye contact and make like they're the most important person in the world and all you care about is their thought. And they're going to share because they want to be heard and they want to be felt, or something was not right. And that's the secret to people.
That makes sense. Because especially not just dealing only with kids, but even adults too.
It's the
like
same
when you're
thing.
At the workplace and you have problems with your coworkers. Yeah.
And my husband's auntie had a stroke. I'm dealing with all these old people. So as people get older, they lose their who they are. They might have been very successful people. They might have, everybody was afraid or everybody loved them. But as you get older, your friends pass away or people forget, and your children aren't looking at you in the same light, and you know, like everything, and they become grouchy or needing to be filled, right? So it's the same thing. It's not about us. It's about they're not feeling full. So if you just take a few minutes to spend in the hospital or to visit or to listen to your mom or dad or whoever, then they're softer because they feel unheard or they feel not respected, or do you know what I'm saying? So that is just children that grow up to be people, that it's just a cycle. So I grew up with just my dad and my brother, and my dad, because he was only raised with boys and I was a girl, didn't want me to look outside of the house to be validated. So every day of my whole entire life, he told me that I was beautiful and wonderful and the world would be happy to know me.
Aww.
Right. And when I went to middle school, I came home and I said, the world is not happy to know me. You know, because it wasn't. And people were so rude. And back then, there was no cell phone or no nothing. They would call our house and tell my dad, your daughter's a slut. You know, like that. And my dad would be like this.
Who said that?
I mean, girls who are now my friends. But you know, when you move from elementary to middle school, and I told you I was a big girl. I had the same chichis I got now. So I was like more developed than everybody. I just looked older and yeah. But do you know what, my dad, no reaction, answered the phone and said, do you know that if you got to know her, you'd really like her? So you should just give her a chance. And then I would say, I don't want to go to school. They hate me. And he'd say, well, you have two choices. You can stay at home and wallow and let them know that all their bullying worked. Or you can go to school and be yourself and win them over because you're not afraid. But I was afraid, right? But he'd say, you just go to school and I'd pick you up right after school and it would be okay. And do you know he was right? Because the bully is never about you. It's never about the person being bullied. It's about the bully not feeling good about themselves.
Yeah.
So they just need to be heard, or you just need to smile at them and make them know that you see them and that they're not invisible, or, you know.
So what did you do after that?
Which one?
With
About being bullied?
With the girls, yeah.
I went to school every day and I was myself, and then she cornered me. And I said, if you're going to beat me up, you should just beat me up because I can't run. You know, I'm like, I can't be afraid every day. And then she cried. And that was such a good lesson in everything because my dad would tell me, because it has nothing to do with you. He says, every time somebody's upset and you take it personally, the only person who's losing is you, right? But if you realize it's not about you, so you don't be like, what the F, whatever. You just think, okay, well, I'm going to do my thing over here and let them be mad. And normally, if you just be yourself, then that person realizes that they didn't behave so nicely, and then they're good.
So why did she cry when she?
Because I think she wasn't really a bully, because they're not really hard on the inside. Kids are not, the loudest, most meanest kid is always the one that cries. Because they're the one that has a hurt that needs to be, a puka that needs to be filled. So being called out on it, she didn't really want to act on it. Yeah, so Wes, to me, is easy. Because he's eager, he's smart. So whatever you say, he understands. And when you ask him to do something, he might have like a little Weisenheimer response. But I don't take it personally. I'll just, if I think it's disrespectful, I'll say, that's not nice. Or, I'm a lot older than you. Are you going to speak to me like that? And he hangs his head. But I'm not scolding him because it doesn't work. I only scold to get their attention, and then I kill them with kindness. Like how much I believed in them, and I really thought that they could have done better, but maybe I didn't prepare you right. So this is my expectation. The criteria is yada, 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 yada. So next time this problem arises, it's not going to happen again, because now I learned and you learned, and we're all going to move forward better. And they all do, because they realize that I'm not perfect either, and I screw up all the time. So it's not like I'm saying I'm better than you, I know better, because I really don't. It's just that I live longer, so I met more people. So do you know what happened to this guy? This happened to this guy, so I don't want that to happen to you. And then it's easier to hear, right? Like instead of, you better not, I'm going to punch your lights out, or, of course, my own children, it's a little different. I want to punch their lights out. Right? Because it's emotional. We're parenting from an emotional place. But as a teacher, I can teach them because I love them. I feel like they're mine, but they're not at my house at my most tiredest time after I work the full day. It's like different. And teaching is my passion, my job and my passion.
Yeah, do you feel like when you're teaching, you like have to put on almost like a performance? Because no matter how at home, you're comfortable and you're like, if I'm tired, not to mess with me. But at school,
I'll say, I'm tired today. Can you help me? Or I'm not feeling well. And they're good.
But would you say it to your kids? Or would you be like, hey, shut up, I'm tired
No,
today.
I tell them. No, you know what? My kids are good. I shouldn't say that. But they know that I think my relationship with my boys is like yours in...
Do they try to play you?
Always. Always. But then they know when I've had, like, I'm not good. But I think it comes over time. Like, they know, looking at my face, if I look like I can take the joke, or looking at my face, if they better eat quickly and clean up the dishes quickly. Like, they kind of learn to read the situation.
I don't think her boys have figured that out yet, because I'll come in and I'll see the look on her face and they're messing around. I'm like, oh, you boys might want to take this seriously because it's about to go off.
That face?
Yes. Sometimes I'll pull Trent aside because I feel like he acts more emotionally, and so if he knows it's going to upset her, he'll be a little more sensitive.
Trent is more sensitive.
Yeah. So I'll pull Trent aside and I'll say, like, your mom's not feeling well right now, and I would suggest to you that you that you listen to her and just do what she says the first time around, and she'll probably be nicer to you.
But you know what? Trent is more emotional and softer. I mean, emotional, but Wes is soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, he feels everything. So later, it's going to flip. I bet you any money.
What do you mean?
It's the
When they get older, you mean?
yes.
Flip what?
It's going to be different, your relationship with Wes.
Like how much later? We're waiting because it's taking
No,
a long time.
no, he's still young yet. You have to pay your dues. You have to pay your dues. You know why? Because I think that he's always watching.
That's true.
He's
yeah.
always watching. So he knows what he does will trigger what response. And you have to change it up a little. Don't react. And kill him with kindness or just... Because, you know, he's such a smart guy, but he can be so minimal. You know, like he wants to get by. But when you ask him to look at his work and ask him, do you think it's your best? Like, he totally will hang his head and know that it's not. So the effort isn't there, but I told him, one day it's going to catch up with you because if you cut corners, then, you know, you learn that, it's kind of easy just to do like this. But the person who's slow and steady and every time tries to do their best and tries to challenge themselves, then their reach becomes larger because they thought, I didn't know I could do that. I didn't know that I could do that. And then they keep going forward. He liked that analogy because he said, it's kind of like the soccer ball, you know, like hitting the soccer ball. Something about if you kick the ball here and you want to aim it at a specific place, if you don't practice all the time when it's time for the game, it's not going to... He's cerebral, so he takes it deeper or... Whatever the lesson is in class, he would have to do it from a different perspective because he didn't want to be regular. And so that's so gifted, right? So he needs to be challenged to, hey, do you think you could create this? And he'll do it. But he doesn't like to be told. It has to be like this. You know, so, and I think that our school system is changing where old school was you got to do it this way.
Yeah.
But now they're saying, let's see what you can create. But as I told him, but you gotta like feel your parameters and see what the teacher is, because every teacher is going to be different and every assignment is going to be different, and challenging every step of the way isn't going to help you make friends and influence people. You know, then you'll be hurt, and then that's your best friend, but you're fighting with your best friend, or that's your favorite teacher and she's frowning at you, or, you know, and then, but he understands.
These are some very adult conversations that you're having with him.
No, but he
Is
understands.
this the same Wesley that...
It is. So don't underestimate and think that he's not as, he probably has your same thought process. Do you know? Like same, he'll understand the rhyme and the reason, and like he gets it. Like, so that same thing about making people feel empowered. So I taught 19 years at KPT in the housing.
Wow.
Right. And no parent was ever not nice or whatever, because I learned that even if there's child abuse or neglect, every parent wants their child to succeed. And every parent wants what's best for their child. You know, and that's a parent's worry everywhere. So even the abuser, the neglector, when they see their child in a compromising situation, they would do anything for their child, right? Or fight for their child, or be angry for their child, or everybody has a different coping style, but every parent wants their child to be successful or to have more than they had or better than they had. So it's just people. It's the same thing everywhere.
I didn't know you were at KPT.
Yeah, I loved it.
How'd you end up there?
I student taught there, and they offered me a job, and then I I stayed, and then I never left.
Oh, so you've been a teacher your whole life then?
My whole life.
Wow.
Well, I was a waitress, and I worked at a hotel, and I did a lot of things when I was younger, or while I was a teacher. I did cosmetics and jewelry and whatever, but teaching is I love it. Because I was going to be a flight attendant because I wanted to travel, but my dad was smart because we were on Social Security. He said, but you got to go to college, because I was a terrible student.
Really?
I'm ADHD, right? ADHD, hyper, can't focus.
You are?
Yes, I'm a mess. Can't you tell? That's why I can do 10 things, because, and all those ADHD kids, I understand.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's me. I have to touch every fabric. I have to, if you have something nice, I have to feel it, right? I'm tactile, and I'm no filter. I'm very ADHD. So my dad said I had to go to college because we're getting Social Security. So it's free money to go to school. So I said, okay. So I went to school and did okay, not very well. And then I got into the College of Ed, and then my money was going to run out. But my dad said, might as well you finish.
Yeah.
So then I finished. And then I applied to work at the airlines. But then I got the job at KPT, and then my dad said, you should take the job teaching, get tenured, and then apply for the airlines after. Because then you have something under your belt, you have experience. So when you decide not to fly, you can go back into teaching because you were tenured. But then I loved it. And then I thought, oh, how can I leave these kids? And how can I... Yeah, but that's a come. I was the worst student ever.
That's crazy.
The worst. So I have not good grammar, and I'm not the best writer, and I'm not the best... Like the kids are saying, how do we do this? I said, okay, let's see if we can figure this out. That's why I can't go higher than second grade.
So what do you think the role of a teacher is? Because for us who are not teachers, we assume like, oh, you got to be the smart person that's teaching our kids. You probably have a different perspective than that,
I
right?
think teachers have to bring out the best in the student, and has to make the student feel that they can do anything and that they aren't afraid to try, is my role as a teacher. My job is to make everybody meet and exceed. So that means I'm going to cheer for you. I'm going to tell you that that's crappy, or I'm going to tell you that is not your best work, right? Or I'm going to underline words that I think you could embellish and find a different word and help you breed your vocabulary. And I'm going to tell them that you don't have to start off the best, but you're going to end better than you started. Is all that anybody can ever ask, right? So that every time you do something, you're going to learn something and you're going to be better because of it. And then you're going to share it with somebody else. So he totally wants to be the ME.
So what does that mean?
Meets with excellence.
Oh, okay.
So that means that you've gone beyond what our first grade benchmarks are. So it's not easy to do. But both your kids are like that. Yeah, smarty pants.
I always tell her that Wes is going to take over the world someday, but I mean it in like evil genius kind of way. So hearing this, it's like, oh, you have supported my theory, but maybe we can still steer him to
He
to
can
do it
go
for
either
good.
way. He can go either way, but his heart is clean, actually. Like he desires good, but he finds the evil so fun.
Oh, he does. That's
He
so
just
true.
finds it so fun.
Yeah.
So it's not that he's evil on his inside. He just finds it a cracker.
He does.
He does. It's his sense of humor.
And we butt heads on that because I always tell him that he's not that funny. and me and Trent always like give each other the side eye, like, this guy thinks he's funny, he's not.
But he's funny. It's funny. But you know what? He's the first to report if somebody's hurt. you know, like if somebody's feelings are hurt or somebody's physically hurt or he feels somebody's being bullied, or he's the first to quiet very discreetly because he doesn't want to be a rat. Because I always say, don't rat on your friends.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he'll say, Miss Ushiroda, try go look by the bathroom. There's so-and-so is crying by the bathroom. Yes.
You didn't hear this from me, but there's somebody over there
Yeah.
in the corner.
He cares.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. So I know that he's not evil. He's soft and kind, but you know, like if I'll say, and Wes, he's like, I didn't do that. You know, like if I'm stroking him in public,
Oh,
I
he
didn't
does
do
not.
that.
Yeah.
Like poker face, not a smile.
And it's funny because as much he and I butt heads a lot, but I always later on tell like
He butts
the
head
thing
'cause
is,
he's like
I
you.
think he's like me because I was like, I remember feeling like that or acting like that as a kid.
And that's why you would butt heads, because it's same.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like me, so I can love him. Yeah, like I think, oh, that's such an interesting perspective, you know. But I know he's going to get far in life because he has both, you know, that killer instinct, but that soft. Plus, he can think and problem solve, and it's not like he doesn't die over one thing not working. He comes from a different angle.
So if Wes is easy, what kind of kid is hard?
The non-trying, you know, the one that doesn't think that they can, right? Or afraid to try because they don't want to fail. Like Wes is not afraid to fail. Yeah, so Wes is easy because you can guide that because he has desire, he has smarts, and he wants to rule the world. He really does want to rule the world. And he really does want to make it better. Like, he's going to invent something and create something to make either people laugh or to make the world easy, you know, something work, you know? But there's other people that think that I'm not going to try, or they don't like me, or, you know.
That's how Trent is.
No, he's not.
He's afraid to try. If he doesn't know from the beginning that he's gonna be really good at something, he doesn't want to do it.
Okay, so I have 2 kids. I have the probably smart child that's really lazy and wants to play, party, like, and he went to private school. Okay, then I have my younger son who's not as smart but works really hard. And when he was in elementary school, was diagnosed with anxiety and OCD. Yeah, because he tried to cheat on his HSA, and he couldn't sleep because, you know how they say that the test is to, it's not to see how smart you are, it's to see what the teachers need to beef up on, right? Like who's getting it, who's not getting it, and how the teachers can differentiate to meet everybody's needs. So he said, we got the sample book, and during the break we were practicing, and he said he didn't learn how to multiply fractions. So I said, yeah, because that's probably going to come later in your year, but you're going to get tested now because some people know it already. And that doesn't mean that you're any less. It's just that they understood the concept, or they were exposed to it, or he said, no, because Miss Nakamura said that it's going to be a reflection on her because it's going to be what she taught us, and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so he couldn't sleep, anxiety, packed the backpack, unpacked the backpack, OCD, right? And then tried to take a calculator into the test. But in multiplying fractions, the calculator isn't going to help, but he tried anyway, and then he got busted because he had the calculator. And then, he had the same story that he had told me. He didn't want her to, whatever. And then, but I took him to see somebody because there were lots of incidents where, because he's afraid to fail, and he's afraid to, because I hammered my older one all the time, and he heard the older one getting it all the time. He didn't want to screw up, right? So inadvertently, he's overcompensating, trying to be the good child or trying to be making himself a wreck. So I took him to a doctor, and the doctor said that you can either medicate to make you relax, it will change your personality, or you have to do the self-talks, right? Like everything works with the self-talk. Like you have to teach the kid to tell themselves, I can do it, or okay, so it's going to be challenging because whatever. But if I do whatever. So in their brain, they're having that conversation on what they're going to do to make it better. So my kid said that the only thing that will makes me feel better is for my mommy to talk to me. For my mommy to tell me that it's going to be okay. So I told the doctor, I cannot talk to him more than I'm already talking to him because... Right? I mean, like, I talk to him all the time because he needs reassurance and, like, baseball. Mom, I'm going to strike out. I know I'm going to strike out. I said, how do you know you're going to strike out? He said, because I'm slow to swing. I said, swing earlier then. Right? So you have to time it. So if the ball's coming, visualize where you feel like you got to start swinging. And so... I mean, you know, like you got to just talk it through, and then it got better. And so now he's like 4.0 and so good, and still anxiety, but only a little bit, you know, like it's manageable. So he always thought he was going to fail. He always thought everybody liked Matthew because Matthew had like so much more personality, but he found his own niche, and they figure it out. So for Trent, who's so smart, you just have to say, Trent, you can do it. Tell yourself you can do it. Or what do you think your obstacles are? And what are you going to do for those obstacles? Because if they have a strategy, then they feel empowered. Okay, if I feel like this, I'm going to do this. It's the, I don't know what to do feeling. You know, like, what am I going to do? Trent is fine.
So is that what you do for the kids who don't want to try?
Which one? In my class?
Like in your class, if you have a kid that's like that.
If I have a kid that doesn't want to try, I don't push. I praise every success. Because I think that everybody else has pushed. Right? Everybody said, you can do it, just do it. You better do your work. And they don't need to hear it. So I'll say, oh, I like how you got started. And they'll turn in something, and I'll say, oh, but you know what? I bet if you colored over here, it would look better. So I get the crayon and I start. And then I'll say, wait, I got to go check over there. You finish up. And then they finish up. And then I'll say, look what so-and-so did, you know, to the class. And then kids naturally will will support whoever, right? So they'll say, oh, I like your coloring so-and-so. Or, you know, I mean, that's just human nature. So Trent, you just ask him what he thinks is his obstacle. Or why do you think that is? Or just listen. Because I think most times if they have a chance to share, they feel empowered because now they're not by themselves, right? So that's the other thing. So the kids, I always tell the kids, if you feel like you can't do something, talk to your neighbor. Because if you ask your neighbor for an idea, then you're not by yourself. You know, like, whenever you have a problem and you feel like you're struggling by yourself, you feel like it's all-encompassing and you can't do it and you're suffocating. But when you share it with somebody, somehow it's manageable, right? And you talk to your girlfriend and you have a drink, or you talk to Nolan, right? And it's like, oh yeah, I can do this. It's not as bad as I thought. So strength in numbers. So if somebody feels like they cannot, I partner them with somebody who can.
The one thing I wanted to ask you is that I noticed, because she would show me, you would always be in contact with her when you had Wes, and you would text her like
a picture,
progress reports and things like that. And I was thinking, man, she's putting a lot of effort into this, because I have to imagine that you do that for all of your students. And I was like, where do you find that? Because I've never heard of teachers being that involved. And I'm sure there are.
There are.
But the way I looked at it was like, holy smokes, where does she have the energy and the time to think about this? Like, you're managing the kids. No, let me go tell parents.
No, and I tell them. Yeah. I tell the kids. Because the kids love it. I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to send it to your mom, you know, and they love it. And then all the other kids, I'll say it out loud. Oh, Wes, let me take a picture of your... And then everybody else wants to do better because they want me to do it for them too, right? But because I don't feel like it's a job. So I think that I tell my boys, don't get a job for dollars because it will be a job. But if you do something that you feel is a party, then you feel like you're going to a party every day, and then it will be like, it's like priceless, right? My husband's an attorney. So he was in commercial litigation.
Ooh, that's gotta feel like a job.
And we had tons of money. Like we had a lot of dollars, but he was miserable. Yeah. And we were, like I did everything with the kids by myself because he was always working. And when he was home, he was like a grouch bucket. And now he works for the AGs, and he works for the state, and he's on my side. He defends the schools, and now he's passionate about it. And he's a different person. And I can say, like, our marriage is better and everything because he feels like he's going to a party instead of going to a job. And I think that if everybody chose their profession based on their passion instead of what they thought was going to be
most lucrative,
then they'd be so successful. Because I don't, like, everything I do for work, I don't feel like is like, I don't feel like it's effort.
Yeah.
But cleaning my house is like a lot of effort. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my husband now sees it because he should have been a vet. And if he was a vet, we would have been loaded because that's his passion. But his parents wanted him to be an attorney. And he, you know what, he graduated in English Lit. And what do you do with that?
Yeah.
Right? So he went to law school and then he became a lawyer. And then we're dirt poor now. But do you know what? We're so much happier. I mean, like, we laugh more, and like we take the dogs to the beach, and we're so much happier people. Like, I was always happy because I was in my own party, but now he can come, right? You know, because before he was too busy. But I think our personalities are just different. Like, he's more of an observer, and I got to go and I got to touch and see if I can do it too, you know? So our personalities, we just complement each other because he's book smart and I am so not. Yeah. He's very cerebral with a very good vocabulary, and I use every word wrong, and I say funner, and it just makes him crazy. And he can't stand my newsletter because all my grammar's wrong and my periods are in the wrong place and my punctuation. But I said, I do it one time, I don't even proof, and I send it because I'm not doing it to be judged. I'm doing it just to communicate. So if they want to think that I'm dumb, they can think it. I don't care. And he loves that I have good self-esteem because my father told me that the world was going to love me, and I believe it. And he was not raised like that. So he checks every I and every T and has to do the right thing. And I don't care. I don't care, and I don't care if my kids do. And I don't care if my students do, so long as they're good people and that they're working at their potential and challenging themselves. I don't care if what the world is going to think of them, because the world's going to have their opinion anyway.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, obviously Jamie just loves you, and I'm sure tons of parents do, but do you have parents that have issues with you, or?
No, but I squish it early. Oh. So if somebody comes and is negative, I sprinkle my sugar and tell them that, I think I said it in the beginning, I appreciate every comment and every question and whatever, because I want to know, right, if you agree with me or you disagree. But at the end of the day, the decision will be mine. So that, and I'm old already, so it's not like, right, like an old teacher. Who's going to say to an old teacher, you should do it like this? I don't think.
I think nowadays they might.
Yeah, you know what? I shouldn't say that because some of the other teachers
change your
have
ways, old
some.
lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait. Some of the teachers have some negativity, but I think that they have the negativity because they haven't bred a relationship. I think that everything works if you have a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And I try to make a relationship with all my parents because I like them. And I feel like if you can talk about it, then you can fix anything. So I'm sure all parents don't love me like Jamie does, but I try to bridge the gap because I think that unless we can communicate, then it's poor thing for the kid, right? Because it's about the kid, not about us.
Yeah, because a lot of my teacher friends, they'll say they love their job, but the thing that they hate the most are the parents. Yeah. Is that the most difficult part for your job, or is there a difficult part for your job?
The most difficult part is the DOE.
Okay, that's the other thing.
That's the part. Because I think the parents are our asset, right? You know, really, because I think that, like I said, all parents want the best for their child. So if you understand that all parents want the best for their child, and you understand with that ear, then it's manageable. Secondly, I'm outspoken, so I can say, but it's not only about your kid. We have to look at all the kids. So then I don't breed any resentment because before I'm upset, I fix it. So I always say I'm upset about something or something. We need to fix something before it's a problem so that it's not a problem. And I think that all teachers should do that, right? Because then it's just easier instead of avoiding it. If you avoid it, so right in the email I'll say, okay, listen, the kids have been unruly, noisy, I gassed them, sorry, but I did, right? And then
you gas them?
I gas them.
What does that mean?
I tell them that it ain't happening anymore.
Oh,
we're not going to be like that.
I thought you literally open the gas and you put on your gas. Like, you guys going to sleep right now for about 10, 20 minutes.
I'm going to tell them it was wrong. We're not going to be disrespectful. We're going to try this again, and then we just fix it. And the kids they respond to it because they don't want to be, nobody wants to be junk.
Yeah. Everybody
wants to be their best. Because you know what? Everything that works in first grade works for life, I think.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that you're talking about is like stuff that I think we should be incorporating just in our personal relationships or when you're at the jobs. Because I think a lot of the times I had a lot of dramas or problems at work was because I didn't confront or bring up the issue and I just held it in or would talk to other people about like, this is what I'm upset about, but would never look for a solution or take into consideration what they're going through.
Right.
And also consider that they're trying to do what's best in their heart. It's not that they're just trying to personally be a jerk about it and stuff.
Yeah, most times people don't want to be a jerk.
Yeah.
But that grouch bucket look, they don't even know that they're walking around looking like that. So it has nothing to do with, it's like so funny. But that's because I've lived a long time. Because when I was younger, I didn't view it like that. Like I used to think, how come they be like that? Or, or the little, what is it called? The parking lot conversation where you're like, how come they're so grouchy? Or, but instead, now when you're older, you think, oh yeah, they're probably going through something. Or, yeah.
For when you're talking about like how you can use your phone to like send pictures and text to your parents and stuff, that's kind of newer technology and stuff. So
I'm so challenged. That's all I can do.
But it sounds like that's really helping.
It does
bridge the gap and stuff. Before all that technology, like what, how did you?
I wrote notes, handwritten note, and then I sent it home. Like I always try to write to somebody, so that that child feels that I noticed, the parent knows that I noticed, and it has to be real, right? So I'll say, I didn't write to your parent in a long time. Why is that? And they'll say, I need to work harder. I said, okay, come on. And then they'll do it so that I can celebrate it, so they know why I'm doing it. And that's why so if a first grader can know, everybody can know.
I love that. I wish you were my teacher.
It's everything is very basic, very easy. And if you just think that you treat everybody like your own child, or how you would want somebody to treat your child, then it just works. Yeah, and I don't try to make them be perfect, because I think a quiet class is boring, and I'm not quiet. So our class is always like so loud, and I just have to say, when Mr. Ueda walks by, look like you're working. Or they'll say, hi, Mr. Ueda, and then we all like
perk up.
But he's on to us because we're noisy. But he's good, because he doesn't think that a quiet class is a good class.
Yeah.
You know, because now the research is saying you got to collaborate, and you have to be able to explain to somebody else. So it's not like somebody who can only work individually. Mm-hmm. So it's good. So there's change of the times. Because back in the day, my class was the noisiest, and I was like in trouble because it was noisy.
Do you think that the way schools are going now, it's a good thing? Like, are you happy with the changes that are? I'm
happy in the change, but I think many of the old school ways are still good. So I think that it should be a blending. You know, and I think that kids should know that should be given opportunities to do things the way they want to do it, but they still need to know how to do all of the things that are required, so that you're not lacking in any way. And kids, if you explain that, they get it. Like I'll say, I know you want to do it in a picture form, but you have to learn how to write the report. So if you only do it in a picture, then I didn't do my job, because I didn't teach you how to do the report. So, do you know, they understand that everything is communicating. So if you talk to them, they understand, and then they want to make you successful, because they don't want me to be junk.
So with that same premise, can we apply that to Jamie's way of teaching her kids how to dress? Because this is where we have differences, where she's like, I want them to be individuals, make choices for themselves. But what happens is they dress so terribly. And I'm like, you don't have to force them to dress a certain way, but like, teach them how to dress first.
He has such a problem with the way they dress, because I always just let them choose what they want to wear, but so they choose what they want to wear.
They go for comfort.
Yeah.
They go
and
for
I always
comfort.
say pain is beauty.
Me too. But you know what? It's going to cost you money later, because my kids never used to care, and now they cost money. So I say enjoy it for as long as you can.
When did they start to care?
Yeah.
Middle school, when everybody starts to notice, and kids start to say.
So do they do it on their own? Because I'm worried that Trent's going to go to middle school and get bullied because
There's zero, no. You know what? They're growing up in the best time, because there's zero tolerance. So if anybody is being bullied, they're in trouble. You know, like, I mean, the bully is in trouble now. And you know how you don't rat on your friend, you rat on the bully? They rat on the bully.
That's the case for all schools? Because I know that there's a more concerted effort to curb that.
Yeah, like it's so...
I can't imagine that you can get rid of all of bullying, huh?
Well, I think people... Probably not all, but it's so diminished. Like my son went to Kwana Nicole, he never saw a fight.
What?
He didn't see any fights. When I was there, of course, a cajillion years ago, there were fights all the time. I mean, and there were like, and I think that smart is in. You know, like when we were young, smart was not in. Smart is in. Nerdy's in. Band is in. I mean, like, times have really changed. Yeah, but my kid, so I had one that went to HBA and one that's going to be a senior at Roosevelt. And no offense to you, but public is the way to go, because you learn so much about people. Like HBA, everybody is like you.
Yeah.
And everybody looks like you. Everybody's family is pretty like you. Socioeconomic is pretty like you. But in a public school, there's rich people, there's really poor people, and there's every race. And like, you learn not to leave your phone out.
Yeah.
Like at HBA, they all plug their phone in and they forget it, and it's safe because I don't want your phone. I got my own, right? So, but and they learn to accept all socioeconomic, because that guy is so smart, but he, he's like whatever, so, or that person's so pretty, but she doesn't do anything, or so it's very, it's such a learning.
Yeah. That's how come Dave wants our kids at public school, because we're so sheltered, because we went to Iolani.
Oh, both of you went?
Yeah.
Yes, where did you go?
It's funny because I left my backpack unattended at my school because I went to a private school and it got stolen from some public school kids who were on campus. So when you brought up that thing, I was like, oh yeah, it's true.
It's true.
I didn't learn to leave, to keep my belongings close to me.
So you're private school too?
I went to the rival.
Oh,
I don't like to say it in public, but yeah.
But right?
Yeah.
It's just different. Mm-hmm. Your mom did good, right?
Oh no, yeah, she did. You would love her too. Like, we should do another episode where we call my mom up and you guys just talk, because that would be so entertaining.
I would like
My
your
mom
mom.
is such a character. I always like put her on speakerphone and let her listen to my conversations or the voicemails she leaves me. The latest voicemail she left me. So she always goes, Nolan, it's your mother. Hey, so I heard that Daniel Day Kim,
oh yeah,
the guy from Hawaii Five, he's gone. So you got a chance now. So call up whoever you have to so that you can take his place, because you look like you could take his place. You're Korean, so let me know how it goes.
Oh, cute.
And then
Exactly how she sounds too.
And then she just left me an email today. She's like, so did you send in your demo reel to Hawaii Five-0 yet? Let me know what's going on with that. I'm like,
so cute. Is she here?
No, she moved about a year and a half ago to South Carolina. Her and her second husband decided to just up and leave and move to South Carolina. And it's such a weird thing, but it totally matches. Like, everyone's like, what's wrong with your mother? But it kind of makes sense.
No, but why did she pick there?
So everyone asked her that, and she's given everyone a different response. The one that I got is that they knew they had to move to the mainland because it's too expensive to live here. And so they put a list of places that they've visited and that they wouldn't mind moving to. And so then the ones that they all both agreed on, I wouldn't mind living here together, they went and visited all of them. And the only one that they thought was okay was South Carolina.
Did you go?
There. I used to go to school there. I went to college there for a year and a half because she really loved it and wanted me to go there. And I was like you guys, I was terrible at school or didn't like school. And so I didn't like any schools that I looked at. So I was like, well, I might as well go to school that she wants me to go to. And I think from that trip when they visited me is when they decided, like, this is a nice place. We should think about moving here one day. And
she must be so
15 years
proud
later,
of him,
she moved there. She is now. But when I was younger, because she thought, the traditional Chinese family is that your kids are only successful if they're doctor, lawyer, something, And I was just drifting around. I would change schools and I just wouldn't finish college. And I would change my majors all the time. And then I jumped from different job and career to different career. And so she thought I was going to be homeless. So she was like very critical about it. And anything I get excited about that I was doing differently, it wouldn't be met with encouragement. It's like, oh, Nolan, I don't know. You got to find something soon because I can't house you. You're going to be homeless. Why don't you just finish school? Just do it for me.
So what did you graduate in?
I didn't.
What did you try to graduate in?
I started off with liberal arts. Then I went to communications. Then I tried to go into education because I thought I'll be a teacher. Yeah. And it was only because it was so difficult to get that education degree that I was like, forget this. Because I honestly think I hate school, but I'm kind of encouraged by your story because I was like, I think I would make a good teacher.
Because you know what? I hated school.
Yeah.
I only liked my friends.
Yeah, same here.
And I had lots of them. You know, yeah, I only wanted to play.
Yeah. The only classes I did okay in was classes I had friends in with. And they would never have me in the same classes because my friends were smart. And so I was always in we have this science class called ILS, which is like Integrated Learning Sciences, but we used it as I Learned Slow. And I had to take it twice.
So he learned slow twice.
I learned really slow. I was like, I should take IRLS. But yeah, so the only time that I ever did well was there's a Spanish class. And my girlfriend was in it. So I got an A in Spanish. And that was pretty much it. Everything else was, I would look at C's. I was like, hey, I passed.
Wait, how old are you folks?
I'm 37.
I just turned 40.
You guys are so young.
I'm 40. Everything started falling apart.
Like the day after she turned 40.
No, you know what? It's going to be from now, it's going to be good. Yeah, it's liberating. And 50 is even better.
What?
Yeah.
My mom's like that. She said
Right?
that. She said that when she was younger, she felt a lot of anxiety about what other people thought about her and stuff. But she's like, now I don't care what people think. And it's so much more fun.
Right.
I tell people, I don't agree with you. And that's that.
Right. Oh, that's the best age. This is when it's going to just start being good.
Why?
Because I think in your 20s, it's fun. I loved my 20s.
Yeah, me too.
Because you had very little responsibility. Yeah. Your 30s are the roughest because you're supposed to be grown up.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that and in this way. And then when you turn 40, you realize you really don't need to do it like that. And then it starts opening it up. And in your 50s, you really don't care. You really don't. It's like, yeah, it's your body won't be the same ever, but it's okay. Yeah, it's going to be good. Embrace it. Don't fight it. Do you know, this was fun.
This was. And the neat thing about it is that, we brought you on because we thought, we want to pick your brain about how are you so effective in handling Wes?
Yes.
And instead, what we walk away with is like, we're inspired now in how we handle each other.
Aww.
Not just kids. It's like, this is the way everyone should approach life and handle
You'll be happier.
Problems.
You know why? Because you'll be happier because you'll realize that the jerk on the road has nothing to do with you, right? He's not trying to cut you off. He's upset himself or he's rushing somewhere. Or the guy in the market who's scanning your thing, who doesn't give you eye contact.
Oh, I hate that
guy. It has nothing to do with you, right? Yeah. So I just say, good morning.
Yeah.
And I make small talk. And then my husband is always like, but what if they don't talk back? I don't care. I'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Oh, are these oranges good? It looks like a good price. And then before you know it, they do. To shut you up. Yeah. Or to make it, or they're uncomfortable. But it always works. Yeah.
At least you got something out of it.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I'll tell you what. When you get your results for your spit in the thing,
Yes.
Can you come back and let's do the reveal here. We can do a
I'm
whole
not
episode.
Filipino.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? So funny. Thank you.
Thank you. See, wasn't that?
It was easy.
You had no reason to be
I thought you were going to ask me
nervous.
hard questions.
No.
Like about the DOE or something.
No.
I know nothing.
All right, our thanks to Mrs. Ushiroda for joining us and hanging out here. And it was so neat because the whole time she was here, Emmett was just, at the beginning, he was playing tug of war with her with his chew stick. And then the next thing you noticed for the rest of the hour or so, he's nowhere to be seen. But as soon as she stood up, he came running out and started trying to climb her and didn't want her to leave. It was so sweet. But we didn't want her to leave either, Emmett. So we really thank Miss Ushiroda for joining us. And this is a really great interview. And I hope you all are inspired as we were. And we hope to have her back on. I think she'll just be fun to talk to about anything. Her perspectives on life is so amazing. We want to thank a couple great sponsors. We have our original sponsor, Monster Energy Drink, who is an OG sponsor to the show. And we just wanted to introduce our newest sponsor. And Jamie's really excited about this one because it is Lucky's Crib Brewery. This local brewing company, they do their own beers. And they have been so gracious as to be another sponsor to us. And if you want, we'll have some information. We'll share it on our Facebook page on how you can learn more about Lucky's Crib Brewing. But basically, they're out of the garage over in Hawaii Kai for the past 3 years. They've been brewing local beer. And if you want to go ahead and check them out, they are on Facebook under Lucky's Crib Brewing Company. So make sure to check them out. And the next episode we have, I think we're going to do a live tasting on there because our next guest is a connoisseur of beer. So I'm really excited to see what he thinks about this mango Hefeweizen that they brought to us to try. If you haven't had a chance to listen to some of the past episodes, one of the ones that I really love that me and Jamie are kind of surprised hasn't gotten a lot of downloads. And I think it's because people have a misperception. They think that it's all about fighting, but it's not. But go ahead and download episode number 2. It's with TJ Thompson. He is the founding father of MMA in Hawaii, but really what we talk about in there is so fun. A lot of it is about his life as a Hollywood stuntman, and it's kind of appropriate because with all the controversy with Daniel Day Kim and Grace Park leaving Hawaii Five-0, we get to hear some of his thoughts about them as people and working with them. So that'd be really cool for you to download and listen to. So if you have a chance and haven't heard that one yet, go ahead in the archives and download that one. But in the meantime, we want to thank you so much again for my co-host, Dr. Emmett Bean, and my producer extraordinaire, Jamie. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for making Hanging Out with Nolan Hong a very successful podcast here in Hawaii. And I'm Nolan Hong. And we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.